The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and he missed the complete that. He's crazy.
The side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
And each time I roam, Chicago is calling me home. Chicago is why I grin like a clown. It's my kind of town. There are as many as a dozen drivers singing that tune. Drivers who have made it to the We Stand United Cup Series chase. The GoPro 200 is round 2 of 10 in the chase and takes place right here at Chicagoland Speedway. And all the Gen 6 action from pace lap to victory donuts can be seen live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. This 15-minute streamy, award-worthy pre-race show will count down to the green flag, so take this time to secure cyberspace into your place. Calm your nerves with some Wrigley's gum. Pull the lever on the Lazyboy recliner and get set for 133 laps of simulated NASCAR excitement that will be streaming your way. From the land of Lincoln, Soup and Crackers with you once again for another GSRC broadcast. If you don't know by now, I'm me, Bill Soup Zahn. As usual, he is him, my partner, Sean Crackers Ambrose. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is our director, Amjad Yaman, and at his disposal are the visionary camera locations provided by the renowned Dougie Beard. In a journey that has left many drivers feeling like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, the path to the WSU Cup Championship has been arduous. And just when you think you've gathered your strength, another obstacle stands between you and your goal. Right now, the obstacle is the 10-race chase. Round 1 took place at Richmond, and 10 of the 12 chase drivers were there. Taking the checkered flag was Trevor Bobrovsky, but his place in the Final Four finale is far from secure. Crackers, the last time we've raced, it was at Darlington and Richmond, tracks that drip with history. Today we visit a track with a little less storied history to it. Tell us about Chicagoland Speedway.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Blues Brothers,
Now,
I got it.
ladies and gentlemen, it's the distinct pleasure of the management to be presenting to you Chicagoland Speedway. Yes, Joliet, Illinois, Soup. Beautiful facility here. Only been open since 2001. 1.5 miles, 18 degrees of banking. This is what you'd call not really a D-shape oval, kind of looks like a guitar pick a little bit, a fat guitar pick. But hey, it's a wicked fast track. The Gen 6 set up for this speedway. They really both arrived on the scene at about the same time. Car loves the track. Track loves the car. Wicked fast times around here, and well, we're going to see guys fighting for the championship in this chase, battling it out tonight. But I've talked enough about Chicagoland. Let's actually look at it from the driver's seat here in the Global Sim Racing Channel Gen 6.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazik, taking you for a spin around the Chicagoland Speedway in the GSRC Chevrolet SS. Chicagoland is a 1.5 mile oval. The surface is worn out, and it gives you a lot of places to run. So here we go, for your hot lap across the start-finish line, aiming for turn 1. Let it go down to the bottom, 203 miles an hour. Let it rotate the bottom right here, and then you're going to want to pick up the gas and drive it pretty much straight out to this wall to try to maximize your run. Now, if you notice, this backstretch isn't exactly a straight backstretch. It angles just a little bit, but down into turn 3, find that white line here on the bottom of the track. About 3/4 back into the gas, and then all the way back into the gas coming out of the corner. For your hot lap, you're probably going to see guys run all the way on the apron here, down across that line. No banking down there, so it's a little tricky. As the tires move on, Chicagoland gives you options. You can run right up here in this probably third groove, if you split it up by the seams, straight off of the corner, a little squirrely on exit, but nothing you can't handle in the driver's seat. Down into turn 3, pretty much going to be the same story. You might see guys rock the second groove, but the apex of the corner isn't set up to give you a very comfortable feeling, but still straight out of the corner, got to turn 4, and then here we go across the line. That's going to complete our lap guide here around the Chicagoland Speedway in the GSRC Chevrolet SS. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
A lap around Chicagoland Speedway. Okay, now let's look at the points. To understand what's going on, it'll help if we look backwards a week. So after Darlington, the top 12 drivers had their points totals wiped away, similar to what they do in NASCAR, and replaced by 3,000 points. Then, in a late rule adjustment that we at GSRC think makes a ton of sense, drivers were awarded 3 points for every regular season win. So, change el presto, you end up with the standings, and you see here right now Trevor Borowski out in front with 312 points thanks to his 4 wins that you see highlighted in yellow. Joshua Howland Wolf and Travis Henderson tied for second with 3 wins each. Not shown on the chart because honestly we didn't have the budget to go ahead and make a 12-driver chart overlay here, as Never Say Die Dawson Brock and Cordell Cologne. Both drivers have 3,000 points, or had 3,000 points, and were tied for 6 with 5 other drivers. Now, let's move forward to what happened after the first race that we didn't cover at GSRC. You can see there after Richmond, Bobrovsky wins, and he keeps out in front with 3,060 points. Wolf and Henderson hold station. Kenneth Reeder finished 3rd in the first race of the chase, and that was enough to jump him up from 6th place for a tie into that final 4 spot that they're all shooting for. All drivers on the chart with now include Cologne in 5th and Brock a tie for 9th, who's tied for 9th after Richmond. Now, only 2 chasers have missed there, and that's Tad the Lone Ranger, who didn't race, and then the early season fan favorite, Zachary Gaudet. Well, now that I've totally confused you about what's going on, Crackers, let's jump into some guys who are jumping on the the WSU bandwagon here for the first time, may not be familiar with what's going on, so let's clue them in on some of the race details.
Let's do that now, Soup. And yes, we are running the Gen 6 here, just what they run on every Sunday on a NASCAR circuit. The Gen 6, the Ford, the Chevy, and the Toyota. This is a fixed setup for the chase. Running the Chicagoland fixed setup with 100% of fuel. Qualifying is going to be the best of 2 laps. Sorry about that. And race length today is going to be 133 laps, 200 miles. Fast repair, you don't get any of them. Incident cap, well, there's not going to be that either, but penalties will certainly be issued if the sporting code is violated. That fast repair thing, not getting any of those, that will be key. This is a wicked fast and loose track. You don't take care of the car, you're going to be in trouble late. Restarts, they'll do them double file, and the weather today, the weather today, it's default, but I will tell you, it's 78 degrees, 103 degrees on track now, about 55% of humidity, Soup. Sounds like lots of horsepower out here today.
Yeah, we have a nice little field here today. 15 drivers' names on the entry list. And, we thought that might happen as they move over into the chase, that we get some of these guys back that were locked in, that maybe lost a little interest at the end. It has, like we mentioned in the pre-race show, it has been a long grind. It's a race not only have to be fast, but you have to have a years-long worth of endurance to get to this. So I think we're looking at some fun here today, Sean. Nice little group.
Yeah, nice little group. Definitely good to see the numbers back. A better group than 8 or 9 for sure. But all the heavy hitters are here. Josh Wolf, Dawson Brock, Travis Henderson, Cordell Cologne, Brad Walsh, Vrofsky, Westman. Do we get a win out of Westman tonight at Chicagoland? Maybe.
Could be, and I'm counting 9. I go through here, I'm counting 9 of the chasers, and that's what I thought. We're probably not going to see much of Gaudet, and Granger probably won't be showing up. So it's really about 10 drivers that we're looking at. And I go through these names real quick. Irby, Parrott, Skinner, Reeder, Brock, Vorosky, Wolf, Cologne, Henderson. Those are all chasers. So that's good to see.
Yeah, Nolan Sutton's here tonight. Trevor Brissett going to hop in and take a run at it with the WSU guys tonight. Kind of a guest driver jumping in here last minute, but yeah, this is going to be a good one, Soup, with laps that are just over 30 seconds. Very, very competitive field. They've all, so far, the qualifying times on the board are all within about 0.7 of a second of each other. So pretty tight field.
Absolutely, and they're just about ready to go out and grit the car. So what we're going to do right now is we have something special for you. Let's go trackside. And now, for the most famous words in sim racing, here is your Grand Marshal and principal owner of Mama Jean Racing, Jean Vivian.
Drivers, grid your race cars. Go, drivers.
And now all the drivers have taken that command and have started to put their cars out onto the grid right now. 15 names on the chart, 11 of them were able to post times. We'll go ahead whenever our director says so we can start running down the grid right now. We'll take them two at a time, plenty of time to get through here. Look who's on the pole. It's Travis Henderson. Now, Sean, outside of row one, this is a little too far up for what his like is. Look for Alan Westman to drop back and ride back in the pack. He usually doesn't like to run up front too much early. What do you see in row two?
Oh, I see Cordell Cologne sitting there on the inside of row two, and the number 50, Joshua Howland Wolf, going to sit there and start on the outside in fourth.
Inside of row three, it's your overall point leader, Trevor Bobrovsky, and never say die, Dawson Brock. He made the chase, and now he's here every week looking to get inside that top four so he can be in the grand finale at the end.
Thomas Finesse on row four, starting seventh. Brad Walsh will go eighth.
Now here's a veteran of the series, Nolan Sutton. He's been around a lot. Is not a chaser. And then the sergeant, Trevor Bissett, stepped in there at the very end, was able to put in a qualifying time, respectable qualifying time, only a half second off the pace for the amount of practice that he has. Going to start on the outside of row five.
All right, let's go back to row six. That's going to be Kenneth Reeder in the number one. And just outside of him, Nick Parrott starts 12th in the number three.
Ryan Irby in that beautiful number 60 machine is going to start in the Baker's Dozen position, the E15 American Ethanol machine. Outside of him, another veteran, Alex Skinner, racing in the 20 machine. Alex doing a little flashing. Hopefully that's okay. And then the final driver, did he take the grid? It looks like it's Vincent Vorosky. I don't think he got out there, so it looks like we have 14 drivers going to start the first lap. First chance I get, I'm going to have to adjust my earphone levels because these, I just did a race earlier today with the MX-5s, and now I'm out here doing these big cars. Sean, let me tell you something. These ones are a little louder than the Miatas.
Just a bit, aren't they, Sue? Yeah, they definitely have a different pitch to them, indeed.
Okay, it's 100% fuel, but there will be pit stops a day, and of course there is the iRacing automated race steward that can throw the yellow. Usually the yellows come out if there's a crash that is on the racing line. Looking there at the number 10 machine.
Yeah, Brad Walsh with a little bit of trouble there, apparently getting gridded up.
No, I think it was Bobrovsky in the golf machine kind of wandering around the infield there a little. He's got it back out there. Might have been warming up those tires. Okay, they've worked their way around. The pace car's ready to pull off. Keep an eye on that Jeff Gordon clone out there, the number 24 machine. We've grown familiar looking at it. It's Travis Henderson getting a little bit of a bump from the 50 machine. Cordell Cologne. Henderson going to dive into the first corner in the lead, the 12 on the outside. Alan Westman in the unfamiliar spot of being up front early.
Yeah, Westman already going all the way up the track there, coming out of two. Keeping it clean. That's a good spot. And getting a really nice run off the top of the turn.
Look at the drive they get off the high side. That's something to keep in mind. Westman trying to keep that 12 car up high. Down low is Cologne in the 50. Watching the whole thing back there in the familiar number 15 is Joshua Walsh. Oh my goodness, Westman high, wide, and handsome.
Yeah, looking back through the field real quick, Skinner really having trouble with the connection this evening, and the car is flashing quite a bit as he starts to make a run on Alan Westman up just in front of him.
Hopefully it's a long race. Maybe he can stay back there, wait for that to settle down. Sometimes it clears itself back up. He can get in the competition. Boy, I think we're going to see a lot of Darlington stripes today as the number 10 car of Travis Vorosky dives to the inside of Westman. And again, Westman, I think, happy just to drop back a little bit now as Westman falls back into fifth spot. Your leader starting.
Thomas Finesse off the 2. Loses it. Able to get the car back under control.
Not going to go to yellow on that one. Yeah, nice job.
No.
The car just got loose on him. What do you tell me what you see here, Sean?
No, he got loose coming off. Might have just gotten back to the throttle a little bit too much. Got on the power too soon. The car stepped out on me. Was able to gather it up, though. Great job by Tom.
Took it down into the grass. He thought maybe it'd be a little time for Saturday in the park there. But he got it back out on the track right now, running back in 14th position.
Well, the top 6 really starting to separate themselves now, Soup. We've got a great battle up there. Trevor Vorosky looking to the inside of Alan Westman going into 1.
Yeah, nice battle going back from second position back.
Ooh, Cologne almost has an incident there. Code Brown.
And what we have is old Travis Henderson out there having a nice drive. He's happy to be half a second ahead of the gang behind him. And Cologne gets it going back straight again on the inside.
Vorosky trying to make it 3 wide there, Soup. Maybe. Oh, they're so close. Coming off the turn right next to each other. Cologne and Vorosky.
Now, full disclosure, I've never raced a car out here before, but from just watching, it looks like the high side is the place to be on right now.
Might be the good place to be. May not be the safe place to be once we start getting a lot of trash up there on the top of the track. Man, I don't know how that's going to hold up over this long race.
I'm excited. This is my first oval race here with some big cars since the new build. I know there's a lot of talk about the new dynamic track. A little more dynamic than in the past. A little harder on the tires, I believe, so we'll see how that plays out. With only 12 cars, well, actually 14 cars running, the track probably won't rubber up as quickly as we're used to. Everybody doing a nice job. Let's go back and talk about some of the drivers in the back of the field. We talked about your top 5. Let's look at the driver in 6th place, Dawson Brock, in that number 83 machine. Just driving around in there. Alex Skinner back in 7th. Looks like he's got that flashing problems done. Ryan Irby running back in 8th. Nolan Sutton in 9th. Kenneth Reeder in 10th, all being very comfortable. Parrott in 11th. With Vanassi. Brad Walsh in 13th, and is the sergeant still out there? Yep, Trevor just getting the feel for it right now. He's very late in, just learning as he races. "14 drivers, all on the lead lap still. Looking at our leader right now, Travis Henderson.
I was going to say, we got a pretty good side-by-side battle back here between Kenneth Reeder and Nick Parrott.
Yeah, I think it's Vanassi and Parrott, actually, is it?
It is. I'm sorry. Yes, I was off one.
Yeah, no, we were. I was watching that as well. They're having a nice little fight. I love Nick's paint job. I know that's kind of something my wife would comment on if she was sitting in the booth, but that sun drop machine is sure fun to look at. Very familiar, easy to call. Parrott running in 12th position right now. My goodness, when we get a chance, look what Kenneth Reeder, that's one you need sunglasses for if you want to look at that number 1 machine. Woo-hoo. Even my rods and cones are hurt by looking at that one.
Well, Henderson still showing really good speed around the track, Soup. Trying to maybe take it easy on the tires just a little bit. The times are up to 31 seconds now, just over that, but Henderson's still really just faster than anybody on the track here at this point.
You know, a green flag all the way from start to finish is not unheard of in this series. They've done that before. These guys had a yellow fest as Brissett is being lapped now. Trevor going to keep it on the high side?
Yeah, Trevor was just on the radio asking these guys where they wanted him to go.
We appreciate Trevor going in there. He saw that it was a small field. He said, well, I can fill it up there a little bit. Had 0 practice time.
Did a pretty good job of letting Henderson by.
Yeah.
Now he's got Wolf looking to the inside, heading into 1-0. Gotta be careful up there, Trevor.
Yeah, he had probably 2 or 3 laps in the groove. I'm sure he probably had 0 laps trying to figure out what it was like out of the groove.
Well, you know, this is one of those tracks where, you know, they've got the really high banking up at the top of the turn, and you are tempted. You are tempted to run up the track and as close to that wall as you can, and sometimes it's like a magnet. It just sucks you up there, Sue.
And that's what'll be interesting to see when the tires start to wear, if that becomes an issue. Bobrovsky now has got around Brissett as we ride on board with Trevor. Love that paint scheme. Feel like I'm Steve McQueen at France when I look at that thing.
There's a good name. You say Steve McQueen, I think of racing. I think of motorcycles. I think a lot of things. But Steve McQueen, great name to bring up in regards to racing, and certainly that paint scheme.
And all you youngsters out there who are going to rush to the theater to go see The Magnificent Seven, before you do that, why don't you watch the original?
Yes, please.
Little Steve McQueen, Yul Brenner, James Colburn. Boy, it doesn't get much better than that.
Battle for the lead is erupted, Soup.
Oh, and as Drifton Henderson is on the low side, taking it on the high side as Wolf.
Boy, those two almost made contact right there.
Going back to see what happened to Henderson, if maybe he got it in the wall a little bit, but it looks okay. Oh, no, he put it in the wall coming outside of 4, just going across the start-finish line, so that's why he lost his momentum. So that's good for Joshua Wolf. Joshua Wolf's out there saying to Henderson, if you leave me now, well, he's come back.
Boy, Henderson really seems to be fighting the handling now. As Cordell Cologne. Yeah, Cologne has found his way to the inside of Henderson in 3. Keeps it down low.
That should be right on board. Yeah, look at that, Sean.
Hey, you see that right front damage there on Henderson's machine. That's going to be a factor. You don't want to have any damage on the right front. That's where your arrow's at. You need that. You need that for downforce here.
Look at that car really push.
Yeah, you need that downforce on the right front. When you wrinkle that up, that's definitely going to affect it.
So Henderson drops the 24 car back to 4th place. And as we talked about it before, it would not surprise me to see this thing go green the whole way, which would not be good for him. Henderson would like to come in, maybe have a little work done on that machine.
And you say that exactly. He would like to have a little work done on that machine, and the caution flag is the only thing that's going to allow him to get 15, 20, 25 seconds worth of damage repaired and have a chance to get back up here and fight. I don't know if he can fight with the car in that condition, and he certainly can't afford the time in the pit as long as we stay green flag. Heck, we're 21 laps in, and we're still green, and honestly, unless something crazy happens, it's looking, at least to this first pit stop, we're going to be green flag. Oh, Brissett back here battling with Bobrovsky.
I just wanted to point that out. Look what Brissett, and now he's going to drop out because it's really not his place to be that on the lap down. But he was running with those guys. Look what a little bit of practice has done for the sergeant there. Starting to feel a little more comfortable in that number 8 machine.
Oh, and Bobrovsky's coming in. Vrosky, first car to come in. He's wide of the cone as he comes in.
Oh, I don't know, boys. We think he missed it.
Yeah, we're going to go on board, actually, with Vrosky. And I can tell you, I was on him when it happened. He did miss the cone on entry. Here we go. Vrosky coming out of 4. Going to shoot down, and the car just too wide on entry. Can't gather it back up. Comes around the cone. That is a penalty.
Yeah, baby, what a big surprise. You just don't think that Vrosky's going to make that kind of mistake. That was really unusual for him.
I believe he'll be forced to hold for 15 seconds, Soup.
The good news for that, 15 seconds probably drop him back to the tail end of the cars on the lead lap. And he certainly had the pace. It'll be fun to watch him try to gather up that interval now. So our leader now, Joshua Wolf.
Boy, look how far Henderson has fallen off of pace. Soup, he is almost a half second slower than the cars in front of him and continues to drop. Now under threat here from Dawson Brock. Gonna drop him another spot in the field. Alex Skinner still making his way up. The connection issues seem to have subsided just a bit.
Well, we saw this kind of thing before in the last race we covered with these guys where the tires, it was almost, they have a full load of fuel, but they probably don't want to stay out for the whole tank because the tires go away so fast. You have to kind of weigh the speed you're racing versus the time you'll lose making the pit stop. It'll be interesting to see what kind of lap times Vrosky can put in after the pit stop on fresh tires, what he's making up. We'll try to track that once he gets back out there.
Yeah, he'll be registering his first lap here in just a moment. I'll give you that time, Sue. And there it was, a 35.96. So just under a second faster. About 7/10.
And that's only, I think, probably going to get larger as the tires up front get older. So, Wolf out in front. As we look there as Westman in second, Wolf leading. Watching the whole thing from third is Cordell Colon. Go ahead, Sean.
I got that wrong, actually. I'm sorry. It registers another lap there. It's actually, he's just about 2 seconds faster than Wolf right now.
Well,
yeah, that was a big difference. I'm sorry. Sorry for the misinformation there.
That's something for those guys to keep an eye on then. We'll see what Wolf and Westman. Look at Westman up there in front of me, right on board with Alan right now in that number 12 machine. This is not his usual modus operandi. Usually he likes to sit back in the back and wait for things to settle down. But sometimes when you get yourself a qualifying position that puts you on the front row, you got to play the cards you're dealt.
I was just about to say that was the hand he got dealt out on the table, and he's played it well so far. So he played it very well, and looks to challenge Wolf here in the closing laps of their run. I say the closing laps. Honestly, they've got a pretty good lead on Cordell. They could take it easy for a little while. They should still have plenty of fuel.
Yeah, we don't know we don't know how this is going to play out. I'm glad Vrosky came in and got that taken care of. Wouldn't be surprised now if Henderson doesn't come in pretty soon. If Vrosky can afford to do it, probably Henderson could come in now that the lap times are slowing down. Maybe get to see what he can get that damage taken care of. Brock running in fifth. Nice little battle going on. Actually, no, it's Skinner, and then here's the Sergeant again. Let's go back to the Ada machine. The only reason I bring this up, it's kind of interesting to see what he can do once Bissett figures out how to race the machine. We got lapped early, and now he's running right with these guys.
Yeah, Tom Vanassi is in the pit. Another one of your cars on the lead lap, and that's going to put him a lap down off the rest of the field. Now taking that pit stop, he is away.
And as he comes out, Vrosky has already gone around him. That this goes to show you how much time Vrosky is going to make up there.
You know, in comparison, looking at Bissett's laps right now, he's running very comparable laps to our leaders. He has definitely seemed to have unlocked the key here to getting around in the Gen 6.
And from my timing and scoring, is he still? Yeah, he is a lap down still, though. He's a lap down with Bobrovsky and Vanassi now.
Right, but he is the first car a lap down,
Right.
and would
Lucky
get
Dog
the
could play as
lucky
a dog,
dog.
yeah.
Yeah. And he has not pit yet, so he is still technically on the same cycle as everybody else. In fact, Trevor Bobrovsky and Thomas Vanas are still the only ones who have come in the pit.
And honestly, looking at, sorry, I keep focusing on Bissett. It's really not any favoritism. He was in the booth with us last week, but that's really not why I'm there. He is really the most interesting character out there right now. He seems to actually be soft pedaling it behind Skinner. It's a lucky dog. We could have a new player to keep an eye on here if he can get that lap back. You see the two cars battling, and just ahead of him there at the bottom of your screen, that's the 83 machine of Trevor Dawson. Do or Die Dawson. Never say Die Dawson. Let's get his nickname right. I don't think it'll be long here, Sean, before these guys run down. Oh, getting a little high. And look at Bissett get out of the way. He saw Skinner get loose and put it in the wall. And Bissett now loose.
Yeah, he's going for a ride. The car is out of shape, coming back across the track. Oh!
Right in front of Reeder.
Wow.
That'll be a fun onboard from Reeder as that car comes up on him. This started way back, Sean.
Yeah, well, I mean, Trevor obviously had to gather the car back up after he let off for Skinner, and you see he loses it just a bit there, and you think he's safe. Car starts to come back up the track, and it never really gathers it back up. So car gets loose, shoots back up across the track. Reeder gets by. Nick Parrott gets by. Everybody takes a deep breath.
We're right on board here with Reeder. He can see this happening from a half a mile away. Sees the car down low. It starts to come up. I'll go underneath. Nice job.
What a great shot there from the top of Ken Reeder's car. Tough break for the sergeant, though. He was really, we put the commentator's curse on him there, Sue.
I think that's just one of those things where he hadn't had the practice of knowing what the car can do when it's in places it shouldn't be. He had to do a little job to avoid the Skinner getting up in the wall, and I thought he did a great job of leaving lots of room. A little too much room as everybody's coming in now.
Yeah, everybody's coming in. Nick Parrott going to keep the car on the track, and so is Trevor Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky going to get that lap back. In fact, he gets the lucky dog now, gets the wave around. Parrott stays out. Now, Parrott has not pitted yet. So he can come in next time around. Get credited for a lap led in that sun drop machine.
Well, Sue, that was an opportune moment for a caution flag. I can tell you several of those drivers were ready for tires.
Yeah.
I could tell by the way those times were dropping off, but what do you say we take a quick break, Sue?
Let's do that. The Global Sim Racing Channel will be back before they go green. Soup and Crackers with you here on the Global Sim Racing Channel, bringing you the We Stand United round number 2 of the 10-race chase from Chicago Speedway. And the Chicagoland Speedway, sorry about that. And we thought they were going to go green this time, but they turned the lights back on the pace car, so that'll give Sean and I a little chance to tell you what's going on right now. Sean, we talked about it a little bit while we were off mic. Looked like the 24 car looking pretty.
Yeah, Travis Henderson able to bring the car down and get some pretty solid repair on the right front of that DuPont Jurassic Park special. Car feeling pretty good, looks pretty good. I look for him to make a charge back towards the front. Again, with that repair, he should be able to handle a little bit better, draft a little bit better. Now, my one concern is he does have Alex Skinner right in front of him. Skinner has had some connection issues this evening. Right now appears to be stable, but that's the problem with the inconsistent connection issue is you never know when it might creep back up and bite you. And you've got to be really careful when you're racing really close to someone who you know might have something that's going to pop up like that. When you don't know where they're going to reappear on the track, it's a real tough thing to race with, Sue.
Yeah, apologies for calling that number 24 car the Rainbow Machine. That's a hard habit to break there. I'm so used to him seeing him in that old Jeff Gordon-looking paint scheme. Very pretty car. Still a little bit of DuPont out there, though. Okay, that gold-plated Mustang peels away, turning over the pacing to the number 15 of Joshua Wolf. Joshua gets the gas down. Look who's on the outside. It's Alan Westman. Same place he started the race, outside of row 1. That's where he's going to start the restart. Looking on the inside, the number 15 machine of Cordell Cologne going to take second, while Westman stays on the outside. But just like the opening lap, he gets a good drive off of 2. Gets a little bit loose, though, and is going to settle down into the 3rd, Sean.
The battle just behind them pretty intense. Dawson Brock leads them. Alex Skinner Henderson already looking to the inside of Skinner out of 3. Ken Reeder back behind him up in the wall. But there's Henderson making a move to the inside across the stripe. Alex Skinner takes that position away from him down into 1.
Yeah, Reeder having that car's pushing on him. So Travis Henderson up into 5th position right now, following do or die, never say die, Dawson Brock. And here comes Henderson with a little more. Boy, that 24 is looking happy.
Brian Irby back here getting busy, just taking a position away from Nick Parrott. Gonna try to anyway, gets it off the turn. Moves up in front of him. Oh, gets a little bit of contact with the wall there, I think, coming off.
A lot of stuff going on there. It was interesting to see the line that Trevor Bobrovsky takes there. He uses the apron. A lot of good battles. And we now have Cologne getting loose in the 50 machine.
Yeah, watch out, Cordell. Here comes Dawson Brock just behind him. Dawson up in the wall. Bobrovsky has to make an evasive move and avoid him. Alex Skinner down there on the bottom.
Nolan Sutton gets by. So does Vanassi. Dawson Brock drops back to 9th spot.
Dawson beat up the right side of that car. Took down the wall with it.
Oh, and now look at that car getting loose on the inside.
That's the 2nd or 3rd time that's happened to him. He's still able to control the car, get back up to speed.
Working on a new racing line there. Looking at P2. Look at this as Henderson. We talked about him. He started mid-pack. My goodness, he's got around everybody. Now he's got around Westman. Moves up into 2nd position. I don't think... Oh, I heard a little contact back there. Oh, big contact. Walsh gets into it. Walsh makes contacts. He's up against the wall. Bissett, Trevor Bissett also involved.
I think it was Walsh, and there were a couple of cars involved there, but let's pull it up on the replay here and take a quick look, Sue.
Oh, Ford. Yeah, Walsh brings it off, bounces off the wall right in front of the sergeant.
Wow. Bissett not having a whole lot of luck here this evening, coming out, just wanted to run around. Boy, that's going to be that's going to be real tough damage for Brad Walsh. So that car, heavy hit. He had to take the toe in.
Well, a heavy hit from the right side when he put it against the concrete, and then from the left side when he put it against the. So the Marine, is that where we are there for the sergeant?
Yeah, we're riding on board with him here. You'll see. He hits the wall, comes right down off, and Trevor brings that car around again, back up the track. He's able to straighten her out, but the damage had already been done there to the right front. He's going to need more time in the pit, more repair. Soup, let's talk about the restart of Travis Henderson as we watch them all come down. Cordell Cologne going to stay out on track, but everybody else, your leaders coming down the pit.
What's interesting is Bassett is going to stay out. That'll get him his lap back. Then he can come back in and do some work on there after everyone comes out.
Boy, I wonder if Henderson's got any more repair time left on the right side of that car. I mean, it's still damaged a little bit, but as you can see on the restart there, he was pretty good. And no, he's away. Didn't waste any time. Oh boy, 3 wide coming off the pit. Soup.
Oh, gentlemen, we still have 90 laps to go. Let me correct myself here. I just assumed that Cologne and Irby would have come in. They decided to stay out. Cologne's going to maybe pick up that bonus point for leading a lap if he hasn't done so yet. It'd be interesting. Maybe Irby will stay out as well when Cologne comes in. Maybe Irby will make that late pit stop. Bassett might not get a chance to get his lap back here if Irby stays out. I would expect Cologne to come in as he's playing with the pace car right now. He does, and Irby does as well. But Bassett is going to have to come in this time.
He's got no choice. If he didn't, he wouldn't have had an opportunity to come in at all, and that car needs help.
Well, honestly, though, the lights, I think I would agree with you, but the lights stayed on the pace car, so he probably could have stayed out.
I don't know that the pit lane would have been open for him the next time they came by. I guess that's what I was getting at. Yeah. Now you could suffer the penalty for that, but you wind up back where you started, and that is a lap down. So pay me now or pay me later.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have got the wave around anyway. So yeah, he would have had to pit, and they all would have got around him anyway. There you go.
But he'll still be the first car a lap down, and they're ready to get his lap back, and hopefully he's going to be able to get enough repair to make that car competitive again. But been a tough experience here for Trevor Bassett so far.
Well, he's got one driver beat, and that's Brad Walsh, who's looked like he's called it today, so he's not going to finish at the back. And your leader is going to be the number 12 machine of Alan Westman. First time he's got to restart or start from the inside. We know what he can do on the high side. Let's see what happens on the low side.
Yeah, and his restarts up top have been just fine. So we'll be interested to see how well that car restarts from the inside. Something we haven't really talked a bunch about, but, they spent this whole season with open setups. Tonight, it's all about the driver there. Everybody on the same setup, a fixed setup. And when we were with you last here on GSRC with the WSU, we talked about that in the post-race, about how bringing this fixed setup in here for the chase would really make it a lot more about the drivers. So now we get to find out what are these guys made of. We've been given lots of peeks inside this season as we followed it. But now it's really time to see what they're made of. Alan Westman has proven to be strong all season. Maybe he hasn't always had the best luck, but tonight he's been awful consistent, Soup, and this time he's going to get a chance to start it from the inside.
Yeah, you said it. We've been waiting for him to pick up one of these checkered flags, and tonight's as good as any. Westman not in the chase, like many of these drivers are. Pace lap, the lights are off. And the pace car is going to peel, and so is the thunder of the engines. Look at Henderson getting right down next to Westman, giving him absolutely no room. Westman really crowded. That 12 car was in close company, and the 24 machine gets a nice jump. Westman stuck on the inside, trying to drop into second. On the high side is the 20. That's Alex Skinner.
Henderson got it wound up quick, Soup. He He really pulled the string on it. It's just humming now down into 3. Here comes Westman.
You saw there the 15 Wolf had to back off a little bit so he didn't get into the cars on the outside. He drops back a little bit. 2 wide now down the main straight. The 0-2 machine of Alex Skinner gets him up into second position. Westman back on his favorite high side. Look at the drive that he's going to get that 12 machine off of 2. Gets the run going, and boy, he likes it up there.
Trevor Vrobosky just behind them. Had a little trouble coming off of 2. Car got awful tight. He had to get out of it. Gave way for Nolan Sutton. Haven't talked much about him, Soup. Here comes Nolan Sutton in the KY car.
Skinner takes the 20 way down to the apron, brings it back up. Yeah, Sutton's been very quiet back there. That number 11 machine running on the outside.
Skinner almost up to the door of Alan Westman. When almost looked like he bounced off of it, went all the way down to the bottom of the track. That was a close call. Skinner hanging on the 3rd, but Nolan Sutton is charging hard.
Some real good racing going on up front, and I would say that I'm not liking what I'm seeing. The guys at the back are probably being smarter, but it's just as busy back there as well as Reeder and Parrott are in a battle.
Yes, they are, and there's Cordell Cologne right in that mix, but Reeder had a really nice run off the top of the track. Soup, we keep talking about the top of this track. I've been really surprised at this new build. The racing, the side-by-side racing, the run these cars are getting off the top side. Been very impressive this evening.
Man, Westman using every inch of the tarmac that he can. He gets it really up high. Every time it looks like the car's going to push up into the wall of
Reeder's
turn 4.
lose. Reeder makes contact with Parrott off of turn 2. Parrott almost loses it. Either able to hang on back on the track. We'll look at it on the replay. They're going into 2 side by side. There's Reeder up top. Parrott comes up the track. A little bit of contact. If there wasn't contact, it was Parrott's reaction to almost making contact. But Parrott able to get it straight and keep it going. Dawson Brock live now. Dawson Brock making a move on the inside of Ryan Irby's suit.
Brock on the low side, moving up into 9th. Good fighting going on. Watching the whole thing. Kenneth Reeder back in the 1 machine. He's had that Monster Energy car in the wall a few times, and then there's Parrott back there watching that as well. 4-car battle for 9th. Vanassi and Cologne running 7th and 8th.
We got another move happening. Nolan Sutton picking up another spot, moving on the inside of Josh Wolf. Wolf going to give it to him, let him go. As they come across the stripe, give it to Nolan Sutton up to 5th.
Sutton slides that car up into 5th position just ahead of Joshua Wolf. Henderson. Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's amazing what a little bit of repair time gets into.
Thomas Vanassi is loose. This time, he takes it down into the grass. We've seen him go down there a few times. This time, I think it might be a day.
Wow. Tom been doing a lot of maintenance down there today, Soup.
No yellow because it was off the racing line. You can see him racing through the park.
Ouch. Yeah, and that puff of smoke means that, boy, he might have damaged the motor. And we saw it there in a replay. He noses into that inside retaining wall, and it looks like it hurt the car really bad. Yeah, the battle up front is real, and Travis Henderson trying to fight off this charge from Alex Skinner. Skinner looking to the inside, going into 1. They're side by side.
Skinner on the inside in the 20. Henderson on the outside in the 24. They're 2 by 2 right behind him. Oh, no, and then we have Skinner gets loose.
Yeah, Skinner lost it there down on the inside.
Brings it back out, though.
He's able to avoid hitting that wall down there. Let's go on board with Skinner here.
Look at this drive that Skinner did. I think he got a little help from Vrobosky going around.
what a wild ride, and he avoids going all the way down to that inside retaining wall. Takes care of the car. The car is still good. He's back up to speed, but man, he lost a bunch of time. Now, 8 seconds back.
You know, Sean, I almost wonder if the grass didn't help him there. If that would have been paved down there, feels like he would have had a fast ticket to the inside wall, a la Kyle Busch. Felt like he got on the grass, gave him time to save that thing.
Yeah, no, the grass definitely helped him. There's a lot of grass right there, and that is the only thing that kept him from making it all the way up to that wall. If that had been paved, he'd have just kept going. And a battle for the lead up front. It is Westman trying to take it away from Travis Henderson, Soup.
They are side by side, and they are fighting hard. Henderson, though, on the outside. Oh, man, he keeps it off the wall. He knows just how wide his car is, just how many inches before the concrete. Henderson still holding off. Sean, I'm really surprised to see the fighting so aggressive up here in front.
Yeah, it's well, listen, hey, you know, this everybody wants to win this. I mean, these guys are running for the chase. Westman giving Henderson the business right now, just filling up that mirror. Looking for Vrosky right there. He's sitting there in the popcorn position suit and enjoying the show of his life right now.
Just to follow up, Walsh's color day. Let's see if Vanassi has brought that. He's still in the pits. So 2 cars in the pits. Actually, 3 have called it a day, if you count Vincent Borowski. Bassett's still out there now, running in 12th. Up front. This is where the action is. Henderson, Westman, Borowski, and that's Trevor. Those 3 cars beginning to pull away from Joshua Wolf. Joshua Wolf saying, hey, if you leave me now, I could be in trouble.
Yeah, and I think Nolan Sutton might have used the car up just a little bit. He was making ground on Joshua Wolf, and now he's backed off and now let Cordell Cologne get by him. So for as quickly as Nolan picked up those positions, he's had to give him back. And try and get as much as he can out of this run. May not get another caution suit.
May not indeed. 2 by 2 for second place. Westman on his familiar high side. Bobrovsky in that blue and orange Golf machine down low in the 10 gives it up. These guys may want to think about just putting in some hot laps now, as Bobrovsky has about a half-second lead. Back to Wolf. Remember, Wolf said, don't leave me, boys. Well, he's doing his best to get into that 3-car battle up ahead. Wolf's got about a second lead now as the field for the first time begins to string out a little bit. Wolf with about a second back to Cordell Cologne. Right now, I'd like to call Joshua.
Wow. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. I was looking at Westman just get right up on the back bumper there. Henderson gave him a little love tap coming into 3.
Joshua Wolf, I like to call in the Thor Heyerdahl position there, where you're between continents, between packs of cars, floating in the ocean all by yourself. But now he has made it across the Pacific, back up into a new continent, and we have a 4-car race now. The Finns and the Scandinavians appreciate my Thor Heyerdahl reference. Not really big here in the NASCAR scene. Wolf now gathered in behind Trevor Borowski, Westman, and Henderson. Hey, Sean, does anybody really know what time it is? Well, let me tell you right now. It's the halfway mark.
Yes, sir. It is. The halfway point is down. We've put one half of it behind us, and Alan Westman wants to lead the second half. Just makes a move on Travis Henderson coming into 3. Henderson going to look to cross him over, coming out of 4 as they drag to the stripe. Who's going to get it? Give it to Henderson. Going to give it to Henderson. He gets it. He is the official leader. Storms through turn 1, and here comes Westman back out of 2.
Westman's got the run. He's going to have it. Henderson had the lead by 2/100ths of a second last time around. Let's see if Westman can do this time. See if we see a replay of what we saw last time. Not this time.
Yeah,
Henderson with a dive, but just doesn't have the momentum he had last time. Westman leads the lap.
Well, you said exactly that. It just didn't have that same momentum. Got it now, though, going down into one, looking really strong. Oh, look at the power, though, that Westman picks up off the top.
Starting to pull away. Westman feeling good.
Now, Wolf and Vrosky back here having their own little battle. Oh, man.
Whoa.
Wolf with a little bit loose there, coming off 4.
Remember, Wolf had ran them down. He picked them up. He was back quite a bit, was able to run them down a lot on his own, up into third now. Oh, short-lived those. Vrosky with a nice run, going to get underneath him. And he's going to sit back. Let Joshua keep that position for now. 4-car breakaway. It's about 2 seconds back to 5th place. Cordell Colon. Colon in that position now, trying to see if he can get up to the leaders. Might have a chance, Sean, if they keep fighting like they have been. Not going to do it if those guys can start behaving. And Alan Westman putting in some good lap times.
Yeah, Westman really still the only driver out there still able to keep her down in the 31s. And, yeah, Westman having a really, really good drive. Seems to like this fixed setup, and who knew that maybe that's what he needed all along, is just kind of level the playing field a little bit on the setup front.
And that said, it didn't take long for Henderson to gather them up, though. These cars throw a pretty big hole in the air. It's hard to pull away. Even Vrosky now, that gap is beginning to shrink. It's about 1.5 seconds back to Colon. Colon really trying his best to get up into a 5-car battle. We're in the position now with such a small field, this could easily go green from here. Seems kind of funny to be talking track position and not letting the race get away from you at the halfway mark.
Got 3 wide back here just behind the leaders. Everybody back here still racing. Dawson Brock, Nolan Sutton, Ryan Irby. There's Irby all the way down on the inside there. Nolan Sutton in the KY machine at number 11.
Yeah.
There's Nick Barrett in the 3.
Sutton really the only one of those drivers who actually raced up front. We saw him racing near the front. Pretty much Irby and Reeder, these guys have been the back half of the field for most of the race. Not really sure what that KY car has in store for us there.
Barrett making a move on Nolan Sutton, trying to get that spot back. Able to take it. Dawson Brock just up in front of him. Dawson having kind of a quiet run, Sue.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to get a taste of frustration? I'm going to step out of my lane here and call for a shot. Maybe our director can go on board with Cordell Colon. He can see the guys up ahead of him. He is 1.5 seconds behind. He can see all the fun, but as hard as he tries, he just can't catch those 4 guys that are up there racing.
Yeah, and it just doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, does it, Sue? You'd think he could, especially with the fixed setup, but, you know, it really comes down to driving style. You know, obviously his is, maybe not obviously, but his is different than the others, and it's not working out for him right now, unfortunately. He's going to need some help. He's going to need a break.
Yeah, what he needs to do is start coming over the mic and spreading false rumors about what Westman said about Henderson's mother and what Henderson said about Wolf's sister. Let these guys start the battle.
Vrosky is in.
And he's in. Remember, he was in early before, so he likes the early stop. Now there is a battle. Wolf and Henderson going at it. But that's not helped Colon out. Colon's now back by almost 2 seconds.
Alex Skinner just up in front of them as they come by. Skinner is in the pit. Cordell Cologne is now coming in.
All right, what Cologne has got to do here, I'm going to get on the pit box. He needs to short fill. He needs to take just enough fuel so he can come out and get on the back of Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky's going to be coming around soon. He needs to take... Oh, wait a minute, Bobrovsky is very slow. Oh, he's just coming up to speed. That's what's going on. So if I'm Cologne, I'm taking about 2 seconds less of fuel than I would want to. See if I can get on the back of Bobrovsky and see if Bobrovsky can get me up there. I don't know if he's going to do it. Bobrovsky coming around turn 4 right now. Cologne rolling.
Well, we're definitely starting to see some strategy play out. These drivers starting to sense that, hey, I may not get another caution. I better start back timing this race just a bit. We still have Westman in the lead. Joshua Wolf hanging down.
All right.
Or holding down second. Oh, man. Henderson having some trouble getting out of 4. Gets it all the way down to the apron, Sue.
Oh, we got to watch the number 10 car. He's just having fun right now on fresh rubber. He's just gobbling these guys up. He goes around Irby like he's driving an MX-5. Goes around the number 3 machine, the Sundrop car of Nick Parrott like it's a Skippy. He is flying in that number 10 machine. Fresh rubber. Here he comes up on the left car no, it's Dawson Brock. I thought it was
Dawson Brock.
Oh, the closing rate was unbelievable. See if Dawson, never say die Dawson, see if you can tuck into the back of that 10 machine. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not going to work. Dawson Brock saying, I'm wishing you were here, but Trevor has left him behind. Out in front, still Westman. Oh, my goodness. Skinner now must have pitted. I just saw Skinner going around. The way Skinner went around Westman, Skinner must be on fresh tires. You know, Sean, I think these guys can't afford. In fact, let's stay on Westman right now. He's our leader. Because don't blink. Here comes that big golf machine.
Yeah, move out of the way, Mr. Westman, because he's a lot faster. Going to catch him in a good spot here. Heading into 1 for Bobrovsky. Gets by clean. That car is fast. Boy, at some point, Westman and Wolf have got to start thinking he is really fast. Maybe we should get these machines in. He's picked up a lot of time, Sue.
It's so hard to see that happen, but you have to remember everything, all the benefit that Bobrovsky is getting right now, that will go to Westman later. So the longer Westman can stay out on old tires, he'll pick up later when Bobrovsky is on old tires.
Yeah, he's
but
almost
my goodness, it's hard.
Yeah, he's almost 2.5 seconds faster than they are. And Soup, don't look now, but we're about to hit lap 85.
50 laps to go. Looking here at some of these stints, the last stint these guys did was about 38 laps. So maybe Westman is saying, if I can go another... Well, he's on a 38-lap stint right now. I guess he's thinking, how far? 49 to go. He's gone 38. If he gets to the halfway mark, he needs to go another 5 laps or so. And he can do it on one more stop. And there goes Cologne. Whatever Westman is thinking, Joshua Wolf apparently agrees with him, as those guys are staying out.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, Soup. I mean, that's really what I was starting to think myself as a sometimes crew chief. I'm thinking, hey, I'm starting to get to the point in this race where I can just keep her out here for a few more laps. I could do this.
Yeah, but honestly, in a few more laps, they're going to lose the lead to Bobrovsky because he's picking them up.
And that's what I'm worried about, is he's so much faster right now. I mean, it's dropping literally by like frames. Like your frame rate drops. It's dropping like that,
But if we go to him right now, you can see he's not quite. He's having a little trouble with Skinner. Remember, Skinner's on fresh rubber as well. 25 seconds from your leader back to Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky's going to have the lead, though, as soon as these guys come in. And he'll be out there all by himself. Remember, Bobrovsky is just ahead. The other guy that's on the same pit cycle, we talked about it, is Cordell Cologne. Now, Cologne didn't get out close enough to tag onto the back of Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky about 4 seconds up on him. But Bobrovsky and Cologne seeing the same movie.
Wolf is really slowed down. Boy, that car must be really tough to handle right now. He is, I don't want to say off pace, but he's almost a half second slower than Westman.
45 to go. Westman's been out there for 42 laps, so if you want to cut it and think about doing it in just an even stint, he would want to come in the next couple laps. And remember, everything that he's losing right now, he'll make up later when Bobrovsky has old tires.
We got a battle developing back here for 5th place. Brian Irby, Nick Parrott going at it. Both of those guys have been consistent all evening. I got to be honest with you, Sue.
Yep.
They've been racing close all evening, and it's been good. Both cars still pretty clean. Oh, Parrott with a little bit of trouble coming off of 4. I don't think that's anything original. How many times have I said someone was having trouble coming off of 4 tonight, Sue?
Yeah, absolutely. Going to get an eye on Bobrovsky as he comes across the start-finish line. Remember, we talked about 25 seconds when he lasted. It looks like that interval's now down to 18. So just when we brought it up last time, he was able to knock off 7 seconds. But I understand what Westman and Wolf are doing. I think Cordell Cologne saw Bobrovsky came in, and Cologne said, "You're my inspiration. I'm coming in as well."
Wolf, here come Wolf and Henderson. They are in.
With 43 to go, Henderson is on about a 45 lap stint, so it's about the halfway mark. They cut it in half. I think Bobrovsky says, "I'm going to cut it in thirds, and we'll see. I'll make 2 stops. You guys make 1 stop. You take the high road. I'll take the roll road, and we'll see who gets there."
Here comes Westman. He's got to bring it in clean. He got the car slowed down nice. He's at the stripe. Might have got it slowed down in time there. Nice entry there for Westman.
That gives the lead over to Never Say Die Dawson Brock. Of course, Brock still needs to come in as well. Now let's see. Bobrovsky has come around. He's passed those guys up. Let's see what kind of lead they get. Cologne has also gotten around. Henderson and Wolf are out.
And so is Westman. Westman is out.
All right, Henderson and Wolf are out. They're on the same lap as Bobrovsky, about 4/5 of a lap. Bobrovsky just crossing the start-finish line now. Henderson just getting out of turn 2.
All right, we'll call it 7 seconds. Ryan Irby with trouble. I saw him. He was off track there for a second. Let's bring it up on the replay. That'll give the lead to Nick Parrott. Irby going to have to bring it in the pit. He just got loose out of 2.
Did not bring out the yellow, which really would have messed up everybody's strategy.
In the meantime, Dawson Brock came in.
So let me give you a time from Trevor Bobrovsky, who I think is going to inherit the lead, back to Alan Westman. It's about 24 seconds that Bobrovsky has over Westman.
Yeah, he's going to take it over now because Irby is in the pit. And Parrott just came in also.
Comes in.
Yep.
This is fun. This is very fun. So now everything that Bobrovsky had and Cologne had, that advantage is going to be given away as these guys with fresh rubber are going to be running them down. But here's what I expect to happen. I expect Westman, I think Westman, Henderson, Wolf are done. If it goes green, they're not coming in again. I think Bobrovsky is going to make one more stop. So what Bobrovsky's going to try to do is hold on to the lead as best he can with these guys with fresh rubber. Then when he comes in with that one more stop, he's going to try to make up the distance. Can it be done? I don't know.
Well,
Bobrovsky and Cologne on one strategy, everybody else on another one.
I could see a situation where maybe Bobrovsky does not take any tires. We'll see. We'll see how far he can go. I mean, that puts him on the same tire wear as the rest of the guys. You know, maybe just a few more laps, but I don't know.
Well, no, if Westman and Henderson are not going to come in, I think taking tires, not taking tires, is probably not going to pick him up enough speed. He needs that 2-second advantage that he had before. So this will be interesting. I kind of like Westman and Henderson right now. Let me give you a time here. The gap from Bobrovsky back to Westman, 21 seconds. So just from when we were talking about, what did I say was 25 before? He's knocked off quite a few.
Yeah, even with fuel, only, he'd still get past in a bit.
I think it's going to need those tires. So the first ones they're going to run up on is Cordell Cologne, who is kind of Bobrovsky Jr. here, same strategy, without quite the pace. Except for Nolan Sutton. Now, what is Nolan Sutton doing? He's been out there for 14 laps. That's about what is Nolan up to? Is he being sneaky?
Now, just playing devil's advocate here, I am looking at the times, and Westman and Henderson are just. Oh boy, we almost had a moment there.
Uh-oh. Reeder got punched in the wall from Westman,
but the
then hit it twice for good measure. Oh, and then just missing a fun watch later will be from Joshua Wolf. Let's go first. Let's look at Westman, and then poor Joshua. Look at this. Westman just squeezed him, Sean.
Yeah, boy.
Here comes Joshua. Woo!
Just gets by. I mean, just gets by.
Oh, Westman saying he blinked out. Westman saying it was an internet issue. I don't know how much water that's going to carry. That's what I used when my wife found women's underwear in my glove compartment. Honey, it was internet problems.
Well, just as I was talking about how much faster they were than Trevor Bobrovsky, but they are just over a second faster than he is right now. So they're already picking up time on him.
Bobrovsky, Cologne, Westman, and Henderson. Now, Westman and Henderson are also running nose to tail, so they have that advantage as well, Sean. Does that help out if you run in a two-car tandem?
Yeah, every little bit of help here you can get, definitely. This is a bit of a draft track, especially down that back straightaway.
Honestly, the guy, I thought I had a handle on this. The guy that I cannot figure out is Nolan Sutton. He's kind of on an in-between strategy. Bobrovsky and Cologne are on a 24 lap stint right now. Then you got Henderson and Westman on a 10-lap stint. Right smack in the middle is Sutton on an 18-lap stint. So he's kind of playing it both ways. Running in fifth.
Oh,
Yellow
and now
flag.
the caution's out.
Joshua Wolf is what I'm seeing.
Oh, it was Skinner
nope.
out of two. Skinner out of turn two with big trouble. Yeah, it looked like it actually started. The trouble all started in turn one for Skinner. Misses his entry. The car gets really, really loose up into the wall. Tries to get it back under control out of two.
And then it caught.
Yeah, then it caught. Exactly. We're following him down the front stretch here. On board with Alex Skinner now. The transition up from the apron really upsets the car. That's what throws him up into one. You see him trying to gather it back up. Can't do it. He's, as my friend Chris Scala would say, he was swatting flies there in the cockpit soup.
So it was the very end there when he got down on the apron that turned the car, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it just became a situation that he couldn't manage. Like I said, that wheel was all over the place, and he was fighting it. Looked like he was swatting flies in the cockpit.
Well, boys and girls, all of our fun calculatings and cipherings and everything, put your shoes back on because they're all coming in. 29 laps to go. This will do it, assuming we go green. Bobrovsky in first, Cologne in second. That's good news for them. Westman and Henderson. Let's see if they come out in the same order they go in. Everybody going up on the right side. Everybody going up on the left side. Everybody taking enough fuel. There goes the 10. Just ahead of Cologne. Westman, the big loser. And there's that 11 machine of Nolan Sutton. That slippery little devil.
What happened with Cologne there coming out? His car just turned to the left and stopped on the grass there. Not sure what's going on with Cordell.
Did he get hit in the...
No,
No.
He made it away clean and then just turned off the track and stopped it.
Oh.
Well, maybe he had to go to the bathroom or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I got my pit stop done, and now
I'll be right back, guys.
I think he left the car in gear, too. It's rolling. It's rolling at about a half mile an hour. We're going to take a break. We'll see if we'll get Cordell Cologne on the phone, see what's going on. We'll be back before they go green. This is Global Sim Racing Channel. This is the Global Sim Racing Channel. Soup and Crackers with you here for the We Stand United Cup Series. Second round in the chase. The pace lights are off. The pace car, it's going to pull in here in a minute. They'll be working lap number, if we get to it here, lap number 108. Your leader in the Gulf number 10 machine, that is Trevor Borowski. On the outside, Cordell Cologne. Glad that Cordell was able to get that car back off the grass, back out there. They go side by side into one. This is the dash or the cash, Sean.
Yes, it is. And they are looking for the break of day right now. Oh, Treble Wolf is off. Down to the inside, made contact with Alan Westman.
Probably the worst thing that could have happened to him is he gathered it back up and didn't bring out the yellow.
More contact up front from Vrosky. Has it with Cordell. I know we're bringing that up on the replay.
They're still going straight. We're okay.
Wolf, you saw in the replay there.
Oh, now we gotta go back. There goes
off the track.
Vrosky.
Oh, don't come back up. Don't come back up.
He's got it gathered up. He's going to be back there and see if he can catch up with Joshua Wolf.
Oh, just all kinds of things breaking loose here, and Vrosky was one of them. Down there on the apron, trying to make the transition back up, and the transition really kills him, Soup.
Henderson's got to be saying, okay, there goes my two biggest competitors. Vrosky and Wolf are gone. Now I'm up here dealing. Who are these guys? Cordell Cologne and Nolan Sutton? We've been talking about Nolan Sutton being sneaky all day. Well, there he is running for third. Look at him pin Henderson down inside.
Oh, Henderson contact with Sutton. Has to get out of it to save the car. Here comes Barrett. Sutton all the way up there on front, just looking at the back of Cordell Cologne.
Oh, my goodness. Sutton's sponsor probably helped him slip away from that one. As they move now up the 50 car, Cordell Cologne, we talked about him. He was back there running that alternate pit strategy up in front. Nolan Sutton in the 11 car in second. Henderson. Hey, Nick Parrott in the Sundrop machine running in fourth. Do or die Dawson Brock, and look who's coming back. Alan Westman.
Soup, I keep wondering how much I can take watching this. I mean, this is this is exciting, man.
You've clearly caught on to the theme now. There are 22 laps to go here.
Oh, Sutton almost loses it. Has to give it up to Henderson. Here comes Nick Parrott. Looks like Henderson has found his way again. He's on his way to Cordell. Watch out, Cordell.
Now, what's interesting, if you go back to 7th position, I know there's no excitement there, but this is for Vrosky. We know that he has the pace. He's a long way back, but what he does have is stepping stones to get him back up to the lead. He can draft on Irby, then he can draft on Brock, then he can catch on to Westman, and before you know it, he's got 21 laps. We could see him at the front. Meanwhile, Cologne doing a great job in that 50 machine.
And Soup with 20 laps ready to go, baby. It is.
Does anybody really know what time it is, Sean?
It could be 25 or 6 to 4, but baby, it's time to boogie. Let's get this party started, man.
Oh, you got it in. I didn't think that was possible. All right. 20 to go, boys and girls. Cordell Cologne, there'll be no pit stops from here unless somebody spins and a yellow comes out. Cologne leading Henderson. I think Henderson is just sitting back there waiting for a spot. And now he says, it's time.
Parrott with trouble. That car getting loose up into the wall.
Henderson has got the pass done. Can he keep it? There comes Cologne with the over, under, over the dipsy doodle, the dipsy do, the hucklebuck. He gets it done. No, he doesn't. He puts it in the wall. One too many zigs.
Oh, and he's still, oh, Westman with trouble getting by him. Cologne was still out of shape. Let's not count out Westman. He's on it. He's found his way to the front finally.
So now it's Travis Henderson and Nolan Sutton. He's been hiding out there the whole time. He's still in the draft of Henderson. Does he have the pace to stay with him? We know the Westman. Now, Westman had some problems. Don't know how healthy that number 12 machine is. When it was clean, it was fast. And Cologne has gathered it back up, so it's still a 4-car battle. They cross the line right now. Henderson working on lap number 117. 17 to go.
Wow, that restart really made things just erupt here. Soup. We waited all race, and it's gotten really exciting now. Henderson's starting to step away just a little bit. But again, I can't help to think Westman's still got a little bit left in that car to get to the front. He's got Sutton in front of him, who's had just this really great race this evening. Come back out here and show what he has. What a good run for him. Not over yet.
Let's go to 5th position, because here's the guy we got to keep an eye on. It's Dawson Brock on the outside. Inside that number 10 machine is Trevor Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky's got to get this done quick, though. He can't afford to be fooling around here.
Westman with the move. Sorry, Soup. Westman with the move on Sutton. Out of 2. I'm sorry, out of 4.
Yeah, Westman, that's probably the best thing for Westman and Sutton right now. Sutton needs to tuck back in behind. Oh. Here comes Cologne. He's not done out of this thing yet.
No, sir, not at all. There is Cologne.
Oh, heard a little bit of contact. Oh, it was... Nope, I guess we're okay. Sorry. Had a little false read there.
A false positive.
False positive.
Oh, Irby going to make it 3 wide off of turn 4.
That's Sutton on the outside, Cologne in the middle, and Irby says, all right, boys, go ahead. Irby, remember, is a lap down. He's really not racing with those guys.
He just wanted to give something for us to shout about there for a second, making it 3 wide like that. Look at Sutton crossing over at Cordell Cologne.
It's going to get that done into 3rd. Travis Henderson now, we got to be careful. Henderson, almost 4/10 of a second on Westman. Westman has him in his sights, so let's see if Westman can run him down with 14 to go. Meanwhile, the battle back here for 3rd, they need to decide on who's going to lead. Otherwise, they're going to lose touch with the leaders. I'm looking for Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky was never able to get around Dawson Brock, but what has happened is those guys have a chance to get up there. Brock holding on to 5th. Bobrovsky kind of leveled off in 6th now. Travis Henderson, 4/10 of a second over Alan Westman. Is today the day that Alan Westman picks up his first win?
Soup, it could be. I'm watching Westman carefully. He is just a little bit quicker than Henderson, picking him up here just 100ths of a second at a time, and getting a really, really nice run to the turn as he's still running that higher line that he prefers. It's giving him a nice run off, and that's really where he's picking up his speed.
The guys who are coming, I don't know if they have enough time to get there, is Dawson Brock and Trevor Bobrovsky running 5th and 6th, but they have run down the 2 cars in front of them, Nolan Sutton and Cordell Cologne. Watch out for that 83 machine. He's pretty good. He had a hard time, was able to fend off the 10. Now they're 2 wide in front of him. That should really help the drafting of the 83. Pick your side, pick your poison. Who are you going to go? Going to go high, going to go low? But meanwhile, what has done is it's a 2-car battle up in front now. Henderson and Westman is right there.
Well, I think at this point, if you're Westman, you want to put yourself in the right position to make that last pass one time. You don't want to make it too early and then give Henderson a chance to make a run on you in the last lap. So Westman's got to be very careful about how he times this here, Sue.
Got to go back to Sutton back here as he's dropped back to 6th position. I told you these guys were coming. Dawson Brock now has gone around him, but the guy who's moving, Trevor Bobrovsky, after that mistake, up to 4th. Then he's got to get around Cologne. I just don't know if he has enough time to get there. Sean, I'm following up on what you were talking about Henderson. I wonder if you're Westman. I wonder if you wouldn't mind practicing once. See if I can make that pass before we get to close to the end.
Oh, man. They're still back there racing 3 wide.
And all the hard work that Bobrovsky has made up, he's got to do it again as he drops back now behind the car of the number 11 machine of Sutton and Brock. Brock up to 4th.
You know, Sue, back to what you were asking me. I don't know. I'm watching this battle, and honestly, I think Henderson is just fast enough that I don't think there's enough time to do it.
To fool around, huh?
Yeah, no, there really isn't. There's 7 laps as we get across the stripe here. And Westman going all the way to the bottom. Got to be careful coming back up here not to lose the car. Almost does it. You saw that right there on screen. The car gets out of shape when he gets off that transition. Way too risky. He's got to get back to him now. He's got to get back on the throttle here.
But look how good he is here. He's really strong into 3. He can close up.
Yeah, but no more of that apron nonsense. He doesn't need to be down there, obviously.
I think he learned his lesson. Okay, look what has happened. We talked about him. Dawson Brock, never say die. Well, he's up to third. Unfortunately, it took too much to get around those drivers. He's got 2.5 seconds to Westman. He's going to have to just concentrate on holding on to that final podium position, holding off Cologne, Bobrovsky. Oh, and that's Bobrovsky in the 10 machine, puts it in the wall ahead of Cologne. Even with putting it in the wall, I think Bobrovsky's going to be able to get underneath him.
Yeah, and Irby had trouble back there, too. He almost got into the wall, had to get him. Side by side as they come off the turn, Cologne gets contact with the wall. Wow, but Westman better get busy quick here. If he's got any shot at getting Henderson, he's going to have to go.
And now we get to that point where if a yellow flag came out, it would end it. About 0.4 of a second as Westman comes across the start-finish line right now, working one lap, 1:34 to go. Westman able to get... Oh, I heard something going on back there. Let's see if
Oh, no, Kenneth Reeder. I'm sorry, not Reeder.
Yep.
Was it
Reeder?
Wolf
No,
with
it
trouble?
Sutton,
Yeah, no. It was
Sutton and Wolf and Irby missed the whole thing. That,
Yeah,
my
it was-
boys and girls, might be all she wrote.
Soup, it was Sutton and Wolf that got together, and it was Wolf coming up off the apron and back across the track. Makes contact with Sutton, and that ends Wolf's race. That car hits very, very hard. Boy, Soup, that might end the race. Let's go on board with Nolan Sutton real quick here, see what happened from the inside of his cockpit.
So we watch and listen to some of the drivers. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was not good. Again,
Dawson. Dawson Brock out there saying, let's behave. Dawson very happy with the third place finish right now. Doesn't want to give it up. There was some playing around going on, a little bumping going on. Dawson saying, hey, I'm not finished yet. I got third. Don't mess with me. He's getting a little love tap back there from the number 10, Trevor Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky can be a little more frisky when you have 5 wins under your belt. They're still going at it. And your leader crosses the start-finish line. Do we go to white? No, we have 2 left to go. Yeah. There goes the lucky dog of Irby.
Wow, Soup. Man, I hate to finish this thing under caution. That was a great run we had going there to the finish. Lots at stake.
Yeah, probably the only 2 drivers that really wanted to see that yellow were Henderson, although I think Henderson had everything that Westman was going to give him. I think Henderson had that. And then I think Brock is happy to take home a 3rd position. He would have been in jeopardy of fighting it out with Bobrovsky and Cologne. Trevor Pizzette, let's give him a little shout out. He was able to stay out there the whole time. Where's Trevor going to finish up? Top 10
looks
position.
it looks like he's going to get 10th, about 3 or 4 laps down. Not a bad night for him.
Ahead of some big names, Kenneth Reeder and Alex Skinner, Thomas Vanasse, Brad Walsh, all regulars. So remember, this is round number 2 of the chase. These are points going now to Henderson. Your points leader coming in was Trevor Bobrovsky, but he's going to be back in 5th, so a lot of these drivers are going to pick up a few. The goal is to make it into the top 4, because then they come down to that final championship battle. And I don't have my calendar in front of me, but I'm going to assume it's at Homestead.
I'm going to confirm that for you here right now, Sue.
As they work the last lap. Good to see Henderson get a win.
And you would be correct, sir.
There we go.
That would be the championship round at Homestead on November 20th.
Boy, seems like a long time away, and it seems like Seems like there's been a couple presidents elected by the time we started this series. I feel like Reagan was in office when we were back in doing the All-Star events back in Daytona. Well, meanwhile, as he works the final lap, it's the number 24. Color My World Red, and that's the red of the number 24 machine as Travis Henderson wins round number 2 of the chase for the We Stand United Cup Series. Second place, no victory yet, close but no cigar to Alan Westman. Never Say Die, Dawson Brock picks up the final podium position. Trevor Borowski in 4th, and Cordell Colon rounding out the top 5. Sean?
I was going to say, it looks like Henderson started his victory burnouts there a little early. Well, that was a great race, Soup. It got a little anticlimactic there at the end, unfortunately, with that caution flag. But, man, that was that last restart we had. Soup, you see in the fun guys are having here on the screen. You know, that last restart really shook things up. We saw some of the best racing of the night there after that last restart, buddy.
Small field, but still a lot of action. In fact, we have no shortage for action around. Okay, this is a Global Sim Racing channel. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back to run down the entire standings, to driver interviews, and then close up shop. Back in just a few. You're watching the Global Sim Racing Channel. Bill Soups on and Sean Ambrose with you, bringing you the We Stand United Cup Series. Round number 2 in their 10-race chase before they go to the Final Four. That will be at Homestead. And we had a small field, but it's a lot of good, exciting racing today. Let's run down the entire finishing order for you. Your winner, Travis Henderson in the 24 machine. Finishing under yellow, just ahead of Alan Westman. Not sure if Westman had anything for him. I'll round out the top 5. Dawson Brock had a great run into the final podium position. Trevor Vroom-Borowski won at the first race last week and is going to finish in 4th today. And rounding out the top 5, Cordell Cologne. Sean?
All right, and then 6th is going to go to the Sundrop machine and Nick Parrott. Nolan Sutton going to have to settle for 7th in the Toyota tonight. Had a good solid run all night, but there at the end faded. Ryan Irby is pretty steady for most of the evening. He'll finish 8th. Joshua Howland Wolf, boy, trouble there late. Going to have to settle for a 9th spot. Not going to be happy about that. And hats off to Trevor Bissett. Comes in last minute here, just come in and have a little fun with the guys. The number 80 finishes in 10th place. Manages to do it on the lead lap. He got it back there, Sue.
And wouldn't it be funny if that's the point that knocks Kenneth Reeder out of, like, the Final Four? Every point is important. Bissett in there being the spoiler. So Reeder is going to get, Kenneth's going to get points for 11th instead of what he would have got as 10th without Bissett in there. Alex Skinner and Thomas Vanassi go 11th and 12th. And finally, 12th and 13th. And then the last car on the grid, Brad Walsh. So 4 drivers all having trouble finishing 16, 32, 77, and 90 laps down. Okay, we're going to let Sean talk to a guy who had an impressive finish inside the top 3, getting that last podium spot. Sean, go ahead and talk to Never Say Die, Dawson Brock.
Dawson, great evening for you. The number 83 comes home 3rd. You get yourself on the podium. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks.
That was quite a race. Lots of action there on that last restart. Talk us through that just a bit.
Let's see. With the last restart, I was behind Nolan, and he didn't get the greatest start. And really, I didn't really want to go straight to the front right there. I was more, that last was about like 20 or so laps. I was thinking, let's save the tires, get a nice run, and then just kind of sort everything out from there.
You had a pretty good battle going there with Cordell Cologne. He had a pretty solid evening. He was in the mix all night battling for position. What was it like on the new build here on this track going side by side in these turns?
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, we were all, for that first run, that first stint, that first long green flag run, I guess, we were all running that top side because that was where you wouldn't get the looseness. And, well, then it started to get a little hot, and we started getting sideways off of there, so we moved down, and it was cooler there in that middle section, and then we were just searching all over. It was really nice, and eventually we found, kind of what we were most comfortable with, and just ran that. So I love it. It was some good racing.
Well, Dawson, the chase for the championship heads to New Hampshire Speedway next week, and have you had much time to get in the car there and do any scouting work?
No, I'm just kind of taking stuff a week at a time, but I'm planning on doing it before. I'm going to run the NIS, maybe some A-Fix, just get some familiarity with the track, and from there, we can just see what happens.
Going to be a bit of a different brand of racing there. You're going to certainly incorporate the brake just a bit more and be more side-by-side racing. A little bit of the same as far as the racing goes, but the track's certainly different.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know last year we had a little bit of a hard time. The car, I believe, was loose, really loose last year, and I didn't drive it too well, but hopefully, new year we'll try and see if maybe it's a little different, but hopefully we have a little better luck.
Well, Dawson, hey, congratulations, buddy. We look forward to seeing you next time, and who knows, you get yourself another spot up the podium, maybe even get yourself a win there in New Hampshire.
Yeah, let's hope so.
All right, buddy, thank you. That was Dawson Brock, driver to number 83 here in the WSU. And Soup, I know you wanted to talk to Trevor Favrovsky about his strategy.
Trevor, your race day reminded me when I was younger and single, and I had the candles light lit and some Steely Dan in the 8-track, and the girl was over. I got all my big plans, and then the dog eats a box of chocolate, and I got to rush him to the vet, and all my plans were ruined. I thought you had the thing set up great with your pit strategy. I think you had one more on those fresh tires, then the yellow flag came out, and then everything goes, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it was interesting with strategy because this is one of the first times ever that we've had where the tires were going before the fuel was. So it was, I was trying to get in and get on the fresh tires and really run people down and just have the pace. Just always try and be one of the fastest cars on track. And I thought I had it worked out towards the end. The caution, I mean, if the caution was going to come out, I guess it kind of came out at the perfect time, just before I make that last pit stop, because I was planning on coming in again. I didn't have the fuel to go to the end, but I was going to try and have the tires and have the pace. So I think it would have been very close.
It would have been really interesting because you would have given up a lot of time, but man, at times you were like 2.5 to 3 seconds faster on fresh rubber when those guys were at the end of their stint.
Oh yeah, it was all about trying to get the right gaps to the difference in tire wear. That way you can still overtake cars with ease and have the pace to really run people down. So it was going to be interesting. I didn't get as much long run practice in practice. I was really struggling anyways, so it kind of fit my driving throughout the race. So.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot here since Travis Henderson's not in here. He would probably know for sure. But what is the story now? Are you familiar with the rules for this chase? Are we going with 4 at the end? Is that how it works, the top 4?
Yeah. So basically what happens is what we kind of tried to do is combine the old chase format with their current chase format with the 4 going in at the end, but still having kind of a more consistent kind of group of people going in there.
A win doesn't matter. It's about being in the points. You're not locked in yet then.
Well, no, I'm not locked in, but that's not to say that wins don't matter. You still get a big chunk of points for wins, and we still had all the bonus points going into the chase from our wins, so that helped me out a bit.
Well, this on the last, and then any questions for the final race and for the final 4. Will any bonus points carry over into that, or is everyone going to be clean for that one as far as you know?
Nope. Slate's wiped clean.
So it's all right.
Whoever finishes highest takes the championship.
So not only so really what we're going to be watching here for the chase then for the drivers and for everybody is that 4th, that cutoff mark, because that's going to get you. That's really where the excitement is. Well, man, it was a small field today, but you put on a great show. There was a lot of good racing all the way through. Congratulations, and it was fun.
Yeah, I was really kind of bummed that we didn't get to broadcast Richmond because that was, I think, just as if not more exciting than this. So I'm looking forward to New Hampshire, hopefully having another exciting race.
Real quick, did that yellow flag at the end hurt you? Do you think you had better than what did you finish here? 4th? Do you think you had something for Dawson at the end?
Oh, Dawson had something for me. I got a little nudge from him and got me sideways. Was able to save the car, but at that point you're just so out of rhythm, not enough time left. But it really sucks. I got loose on the restart trying to get up in front of Cordell first lap after the restart. Otherwise, I would have still been fine.
Yeah. But, you got the win under your belt there, so congratulations. You'll probably end up going away here, getting into the next race, still points leader. Good job. Trevor Borowski, your winner today. Sean?
Winner last week.
Oh, winner last week. Sorry. Points leader today. All right.
Yes.
All right. Thanks. Force I
don't want to take anything away from Travis.
Thanks, Trevor. All right, Sean, who you got?
You know what? I've caught up with Joshua Wolf. Josh, you got me, buddy.
Yes, I do.
Man, that was a tough break there at the end for you. I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, I was trying to get past Nolan, and not very easy to try and keep the car underneath you on the apron there, and Nick got loose, so I was kind of reacting to that. So just unfortunate. Probably shouldn't have been back there. I was a little too aggressive on the restart and kind of put me back there. So just a whole bunch of me causing those issues. So
yeah, well, hey, don't be too hard on yourself. Listen, you were not the only one we saw have trouble with that transition back from the apron this evening. You really do kind of risk it a little bit when you have to try when you do incorporate that apron for a little bit of extra speed.
Yeah, you can do it normally at the beginning of the run, but about 5-10 laps into it, you pretty much can't go down there because then it's just super slick and the transition's bad. So tried staying away from it, but kind of was forced down there trying to get by Nolan and not trying to wreck him. And then Trump coming back on got loose and had Nick loose in front of me too. So just got together there.
Well, listen, you still salvaged yourself a top 10 run. Wasn't altogether that bad of an evening. Now we go to New Hampshire next week. You'll be ready for that, I'm sure.
Yes, definitely ready for next week and hopefully turn things around and get another, hopefully contend for a win like I did last week. So
now, do you tend to favor the shorter tracks?
Actually, I kind of like tonight. That was a blast being able to run almost anywhere on the track. I enjoy that. With the update, we were actually able to now adjust the brake bias, so that's really nice with the fixed setups. And we'll see on the short tracks. I might actually start really liking them because can adjust the brake bias and get it somewhere closer to what I like.
Well, explain that for maybe people watching right now that don't know exactly what you're referring to. That adjustment, I mean, how big of a difference is that now, having the ability to do that?
It's a really big difference depending on your braking style. I'm used to road course racing, so I'm on it pretty hard early and trail braking off. And having a more even brake bias will help get that slowed down early. You also can make it a little bit looser going towards the rear, getting into the corner, so that can help if you're tight and help you to get into the corner a little bit better and save tires. So definitely very nice now that we have that adjustment.
Well, thanks for breaking that down there for us. We appreciate that. Listen, very excited to get to New Hampshire next week. Been a great evening here. This was a really good race, man. Sorry that last caution flag came out at your expense, but we'll see you next week, and we know you'll be fighting strong to win that one.
Yeah, thank you. And I also want to say happy birthday to you.
Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much.
Yep.
All right, super. That was Joshua Wolf.
I'm going to talk here real quick. We had him in the booth with us last week. He decided that he'd go out and put in a little track time for us. The Sergeant Trevor Brissett. Congratulations. Hey, what got you so slow there in the beginning? You lost a lap early. Right off the top there, Trevor.
I lost it out of 2. I like you had said earlier in the broadcast, I had no practice here and I had no idea what I was doing. I got a couple races in the truck, but I haven't done the Cup car here. And I don't know. I was just trying to push it too much, I guess.
It was fun, though. We were watching you. Once you got your legs under you, once you feel comfortable, you were able to run with those guys. You were just a lap down for, forever. And then whenever the lucky dog came out, you were part of it.
Actually, I never got a lucky dog. I think I finished 3 laps down. I never got back on the lead lap after
You never
that.
did? No.
No, I did not. I was just trying to hope to, and then I think after... I think it was when someone contacted me. I don't remember. He hit the wall and came down on me. I don't think I ever got back. I came a couple of laps down from that, like a 2-minute repair from it. But it was a lot of fun. I really had a blast. I'm not very good at stock car, as you guys know. I'm an IndyCar driver. But I've been wanting to learn the stock cars, and this helped me out a lot. So I want to thank WSU for letting me race. If they need more people to fill in, I'll be there to race if they'd like me.
Cool. I think that was great. Well, thanks for helping us out last week in the booth. That was good when we had that was a rough one with only a few out there. It was a couple weeks ago. And then today we had a nice field for you. You put on a good show. Trevor, way to go, buddy.
Thanks, Soup.
Trevor Brissett, top 10 today. Coming in cold, Sean.
Yeah, and hats off to him for doing yeoman's work there. Finishes the race and put his laps in. That was a really good job. I can't say it enough. It was a really fine race these young men put on today, and I was happy to be part of it. Great comeback win there for Travis Henderson. I'm going to call it a comeback win because he wrapped that car into the concrete pretty hard there in the early stages. Needed to repair it, but once he got it repaired, it was on rails, Sue.
Okay, that's going to wrap it up for us. Now let's see if Sean can find his place in the script, and we're going to double team the closing credits. We'd like to thank the We Stand United Motorsports guys for organizing this series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. We know you have lots of choices when you fly. Thanks for flying GSRC. Thanks to the company's equipment software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast.
And the original music you've heard on today's broadcast is thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them? GSRC will be back to bring you the Sylvania 100 from New Hampshire Speedway, October 2nd, Sue.
Outstanding. For more details about all upcoming events on the Global Sim Racing Channel, your best bet is the GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. Actually, it is GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. No "the" in front of that. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel. But I'll tell you what I do. I type in GSRC YouTube and I Google it, and it sends you over to their YouTube channel. And boy, there's a lot of fun stuff over there. I like to do it that way. Finally, on behalf of my mic make, Sean Ambrose, our director, Amjad Yaman, our camera artist, Dougie Beard, thanks to all of you for watching. And with that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.